Hello, fellow. Hello, fellow bunnies. Welcome to Powerwash Simulator. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I do have some background music going on, and I figured since it's technically it's gonna be the last up. It's probably gonna be the last up. I'm probably gonna get close to finish Powerwash, but figured I'd give it a nice atmosphere. I found some no copyright music in the background, so hopefully it doesn't make it too fucky. I need to figure out that bug. Anyway, let's proceed. Ooh, new bonus jobs? Oh no, that's just all the updated stuff. Alright. Yeah, it has occurred to me that it is actually a pretty big temple, so it's gonna be a bit. Ah, yes, look at this place. Oh, I just realized it. Oh, it's not a temple, it's a pyramid, but that's practically the same thing. Here we go. This music is really relaxing. And it kind of fits the atmosphere that Powerwash gives. You know? Here we go. As you can see, I got most of the inside done, so... I'm honestly surprised how the inside was even able to hold up. Oh yeah, how is society today? Hello, numb gaze. I don't appreciate. No, just for that, I'm gonna take a bite out of the stick. Ah! But yeah, I think this pyramid is the last thing in Powerwash Simulator. And if you couldn't tell, I got some background music.
A game that made all
Oh my gosh. Rusty,
around you.
Rusty, can you hear me? Ooh, I can hear the music. Also, the last clean of the power wash machine. Yep. At least I think. At least I think it's the last wash. Yes, a wild Rusty has appeared. Actually, Rusty, can you?
Ah, you're back.
I was wondering if you could hear me.
Hmm. Yes.
I don't think anyone
What's up?
could. I don't think you could hear me.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing some power wash simulator, and I think I'm washing this pyramid here. I think it might be the last thing I need to wash.
There is definitely something going on with your connection today.
Yeah. Oh man, can Rusty not hear me again?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear my voice? I know my
Buddy,
voice sounds,
you
I know
there?
my voice sounds bad, but you know. Rusty! I just wanted to have a chill music, you know. Is that too much? Am I asking for too much? I always look like I'm droopy. I don't kick him ball. My model always looks like I'm sleeping. It's funny.
I can't wait for the new Stalker game. You know, I completely forgot about that. Well, also because they kind of had some
Maybe if I forego
problems
music.
going on.
Dang. I was enjoying having such nice background music. Or maybe it's my internet today. I don't know.
Yeah, they remembered Fable was supposed to have
No. Hold up. Let me hang up real quick.
Hello?
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
Just had to hang up and reconnect real quick.
Okay, because for some reason you kept cutting in and out, and I thought you were just talking to yourself. So I was like, yeah, I'll let you finish.
Dang. I had such nice background music on, too.
Hmm?
I'm playing Powerwash Simulator, and I was thinking, hey, maybe I should, like, set up a background music, since there's really no music in Powerwash Simulator other than the sound of the power wash.
Yeah. I remember doing that. Bit tough to do to get the sound just right. I mean, like, what do you call it? The settings in OBS for background music. Sometimes, most of the time, it's either too loud or it's too quiet. You can't hear a damn thing.
Well, since we're here, we can proceed with the latest story of the Barbarous campaign. Rusty? Ah, not again. It's always
Hmm?
happens. Oh, did you hear me?
No, not exactly what happened.
We can tell the tale of the latest Barbarous campaign.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So this is the aftermath of the boss fight. They come back up, and the party is greeted by the succubus and the kobold that was waiting for them, because they were told to run for safety. And so they go out. They go out to the carriage where the owlbears are waiting for them. They notice that the owlbears had gone hunting while everybody was gone. And I didn't give the owlbears names, but Klein went ahead and called them Hoagie and Doogie.
Yep. I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't remember what their names are, so I'm just gonna make some up. And then
I,
she went. I was surprised when she went with them. I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's what we're going
because
with.
I didn't because I hadn't planned any names for them. That's why. And then I heard him call them Hoagie and Doogie, and I was like, ah, fuck it. Let's stick with it. I didn't have names planned for them anyway, so. So yeah, they begin the journey back home, and they're traveling. At one point, they have to stop, and this is where Gibby the Kobold gets to show off his skills as a chef. He gathered some nearby herbs and some mushrooms, and but he still needed the main course, so he went out into the woods. Marion and Klein went and did rock paper scissors. Mary,
Yep.
the loser, had to stay behind with everybody else. Marion ended up winning, and Klein was forced to stay behind to his disappointment.
Probably for the best, because Klein was still injured.
Yeah. So by the time they come back, they had killed a boar that got stuck in a trap that Gibby had set up.
What's up, man? Check it out. This is the shit I'm doing. You want to be a scientist, Booba?
So yeah, that happened.
I got chips. I got a quesadilla. Yeah, there we go. I got a quesadilla and a grilled cheese burrito. Damn, it's getting late. I gotta go to sleep soon. Does it have the word chicken on it? All right, check the other one. I think this one. I don't know if you did this, but it's got a little cut on the chicken. I wonder why. Where's my quesadilla? Yeah. Wait, really? This is it?
Damn, you got robbed.
This is a soft taco. Who the fuck's my quesadilla?
Betcha he ate it.
Gave mad shits.
Swear to God, this fucking Taco Bell, man. Every time. What's this thing? Sour cream. Yeah, it was supposed to be in my quesadilla. I fucking hate this Taco Bell, man. They get it wrong every time. Every single time.
Why are you ordering from Taco Bell?
Well, I guess that's all we got, huh, Boo Boo? Yeah, you want the other half of the chips? Alright, so what'd you get on yours? What'd you get on yours? Yeah. I can't smell the difference.
Yeah, me either.
Alright, so it's all you then, bro. Hey, Smokey, what's up, buddy? Look at him.
Aw.
Finally came here all the way to my room.
The hell? Let him out.
Now I'll kick him out. It's not like you can kick him out, Boo, but your hands are full. Nah, I get it. Alright, thanks, bro. Yeah, you can hang out in here for a little bit, man. Just don't eat anything off the floor. Hmm.
Did they? Is this a goddamn car in a? Is a airplane? And what the? What the hell? How good are these? I think they had a little too much fun with it. Alright. The bigger question is how the hell did all this mess get here? Well, it's a result of a volcano, is what people were saying. And with this thing, I'm pretty sure it just built up over time. Ah!
Yeah.
Did not appreciate that.
And straight up climbed up my chair, you little kitty.
Alright. Yeah, shop for more stone cleaner. Oh, quick announcement, everybody. Ah. Hang it. Dang it. Fuck my life. I can just do this. Never mind. Anyway, as I was saying, if you all haven't heard of Epic Mickey, it was it was a it's a it was a Wii game where like you get the plot with the paintbrush and all that. I played Epic Mickey when I was 16, and I learned that they're doing a re they're doing like a remake of, well, it's not like a remake, but it's coming to the PS4, and I am excited to play it because I played it, when I was 16, and nostalgia. Yay for nostalgia! Yay! There we go. See, it wasn't too much of a problem. Ah! Motherfucker! Again! What is with these gnomes? Fuck off. Hi, it's Cal. I'm on my way back to Rush List to see what's going on. There have been reports of volcanic activity across the entire Pacific Rim. This really doesn't sound good. Wait, where was I with the story again? Okay, we were... Wait, could Rusty even hear me? Ah, he probably can't. Is he even present anymore?
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, you're back. What happened?
Wait, I thought you were gone.
No, you disappeared all of a sudden.
Ah.
And you were gone for quite a while, so I thought maybe you didn't plug in your laptop today.
Nah, my laptop's plugged in, trust me.
Okay. Sure, I believe you.
Anyway, I wanted to. I was gonna continue with the story. Like, where did I leave off?
Uh, went off into the forest with Gibby.
Oh yeah, Marianne went off to the forest with Gibby, and Klein was left to sulk because he wanted to spend time with the kobolds. Rusty, buddy.
Hmm?
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you were still here with me.
Yep, still here. Go ahead, continue. Just doing labs.
Yeah, you. Ah, yes, labs. And so when they come back, they learn that Gibby has set a trap for a boar, and that's what they had killed. So Klein decided to be a smartass, and then Marion made a couple threats, and then that was it. So Gibby then proceeds to cook cook everybody the meal, sautéing the herbs and the mushrooms, and he was struggling to cut off the boar's head, and he was using Marion's axe to do it. And everybody was like, almost everybody kept cheering him on to keep at it, to keep at it. It took him about 4 tries before he finally cut off the boar's head completely. Then he proceeded to roast the body, and then afterwards the head, and then finally it was complete. And he is being absolutely adorable as he's doing this. Just get
Oh my god, I'm so mad that I let my I let the lab time out, and now I have to start all over again with counting the white blood cells.
damn. Gotta go, Suggy. Have fun, and hopefully no more tech issues. Thanks for hopping in, Ungies. Mwah. You have a good day. Hope you get your house done. Alright, anyway. So Gibby is being adorable throughout the whole time. And the funny thing is he takes the form of a Shiba Inu, which because, you know, they're cute, you know? Well, all dogs are cute, but you know, when they're not trying to bite you.
Wow.
Did you get logged out again?
No, it's just I'm reading a comment on a video I have in the background while I work, and it's like it kind of hit hard. Damn.
Damn.
The worst thing I could say to someone is, I hope your hobby goes mainstream.
I want to ask what they mean by that, but I'll ask later.
Another thing, another hard-hitting comment is, I'd rather you call me a slur than whatever that made-up word is. I'm like, damn, man. Damn! Although I have had a friend tell me that once, which was a little hilarious. Oh yeah, go ahead, keep going with the story. Normally I take over the storytelling duties, but since you're not really focusing too hard on a game right now, I think you can stretch
I mean,
your stuff.
I'm partially focusing on the game. It's like making sure I gotta get this pyramid clean. And okay, so plus you're doing homework, so yeah. Anyway, but feel free to add a comment here or there.
Yeah, totally.
It lets me know I'm still connected.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they eat the food, and the food that Gibby made is delicious. So yeah, and then afterwards he feeds the owl bear some of the boar meat. And a lot of people are, and some folks are, like Bethesda, are surprised that the owlbears didn't just straight up eat Gibby. But then Klein was like, they were probably distracted by the boar meat. So anyway.
Yeah.
So
And Klein
everybody
is
goes.
the one constantly mentioning he's going to eat somebody.
What are you talking about? Klein mentions that he threatens to eat Arjack all the time.
I know, that's the best part. It's become a meme.
Yeah, everything. It's become a meme. So everybody goes to bed, save for Klein, as he is taking first wash, and it was around this time that him and Marion started to reminisce about the old days, because Marion's family used to serve his family. But then her parents ended up being killed by the same demon that killed Klein's father. And both are on the quest for revenge.
Yeah, I got to add a little bit more lore to Klein's family tree, as it were.
They bonded a little, then they bond a little during the night, and then she tells them to.
That's what she said.
And then she tells him to go.
I don't know. I don't
rest,
think you understand how they bonded a little bit during the night sounds, Usagi. But you know, do a little dance.
Oh my god. But anyway, so she tells him to like go ahead and take a rest, and then she'll take the next watch. She didn't tell anybody to take the next shift the rest of the night. So by the time the morning comes, they wake up. Arjack, for whatever reason, is feeling so awesome that he leapt leapt up in the air like a cartoon character in his
He leapt up
undergarments.
in the air naked. Don't forget
It,
that part. Like, he wasn't wearing any clothes. He just jumped into the air like he was Monkey D.
not
Luffy.
true. He was wearing undergarments.
He said he was naked.
That's being half naked.
No, he said he was full Monty naked as he jumped into
Wait, I thought he was.
the
I thought he
thing.
said he
Like,
was wearing undergarments.
no, he said he was full Monty naked.
Ah. And then Klein wakes up feeling pretty average. And he greets the
Yeah.
our jacketess in the morning before telling him to put on some pants.
Yep.
How'd you say it again?
I don't remember. It was well, put a funny like
I know you. You sounded pretty tired. It was like very exaggerated.
yeah, it was something like oh yeah, it's good that you're feeling so you're feeling so hype this morning, but you might want to put on some pants.
Yeah, put on some pants before the ladies that are not your wife see you. The Bethesda wakes up. She's feeling pretty great, and she tells Klein what's got his knickers in a knot.
Yep. I forgot like yeah,
So
Klein
okay,
complains
so
about nightmares. He has constant grievous nightmares, and he finally has somebody who could help him with that.
okay, so all right, so let's so the way it works, like when 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 the night passes, we have everybody like do some condition checks, and Marion did not make that check.
Well, she
She
did, but she fumbled.
she
So
she fumbled that check. So
so
she
condition check is like a house rule that I stole from this game called Ryutama, where it essentially describes how you're feeling that day. And it can give you some buffs or debuffs if you happen to roll pretty badly. It's particularly useful for letting you know how badly a status effect will affect you. And there are quite a few status effects in Ryutama because for some reason Sword World doesn't really have that many. And you know me, I'm a DM and I like status effects, so I just work that in there. I haven't really had a chance to use them too much, except for that one time, like someone got injured. I mostly only assign like status effects during traveling and stuff like that. You know, depending on what happens, how badly somebody rolls. But your condition. So if your condition is higher than the status effect, you don't have to worry about it. But the minute your condition drops below your status effect, you're gonna take the full brunt of it. You're gonna feel badly. You're gonna be in so much pain. Like let's say you got injured, and you have an injury of like a injury 6 that you got from like falling in a trap. But your condition is like 10, so you ain't got to worry about it. You're like, nah, I can brush this off. The next day, you get a condition of 4, and all of a sudden, oh god, oh, I'm in so much pain. It's supposed to simulate that.
no, I thought like it was like below 4 that you feel pain.
Oh no. So below 4. No, I'm talking about like the status effects itself. If you look back at
Oh, okay,
the good old cheat sheet, there's a bit about the status effects. I think it's like injury, sickness, poison, shock, befuddled, and the third mental status effect. I forgot what it was. Confusion. I think it was confusion. It was something like that. They all do something different. They all have like effects on you. Shock is the worst one because it like cuts your HP and MP in half. It also cuts your maximum HP and MP in half, so it's pretty debilitating. But for the most part, we've just been using it as a way to tell how well the character slept or how good they're feeling when they wake up in the morning. If they're above, I think if they're 8 and above, they get a +1 to all their checks for the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're 4 and below, they get a -1 to all checks for the whole day. It's not crazy, but it is something. However, there's a special addendum to that. If you fumble the roll, as in you get 2 1s on whatever dice you have to roll for your condition check, you done fucked up. You fucked up hard. You faint, like, and you need somebody with the first aid skill to get you back up. And even then, that's only temporary.
Yeah, so what happened was Marion fumbled hard on that roll, and she just straight up like she was like the most fatigued out of everybody. She just flopped into the ground face first. She face planted in fatigue. So like everybody is just like walking around. Almost everybody's walking around eggshells around her because like. But that was like, Marion, you okay, buddy? And Marion's just like, eh.
I don't know if anybody's seen Spy X Family, but that episode where Yor got shot in the ass, it's kind of like that. At least that's how I imagined it.
Yeah, but in Marion's case, she just didn't get any sleep.
Yeah. And Clyde kind of felt bad. It's like, did I do that? I'm so sorry. Now, you see, taken out of context, that sounds just so rugged.
Alright, anyway. So he goes and he helps Marion a bit, and then just like... But then in comes Gibby, with the arrow bears following behind him, and they are dragging a recently killed grizzly bear. Now, how Gibby was able to get the owlbears to listen to him, I don't know. Nobody knows. All they know is that they are just surprised that they are even following Gibby without even trying to eat him. Because you know he's a little guy. So then afterwards, he goes and proceeds to like cook up the grizzly bear. And hopefully, thanks to the food, it did help Marion a little bit. So then they proceed to leave. Oh, and this is funny. So the first time, like, somebody has to drive the carriage. They can't want to, right? So, like before they left the area where the mission was, Klein took a go at it, and the first couple rolls was like both owl bears, Hoagie and Doogie, ended up giving him a bit of attitude by hissing at him, or squawking at him, I should say, because you know the birds. They're a mystical creature as a mix of a bird and a bear. And Klein thought that they wanted him to establish dominance.
So he did.
Everybody else was.
He T-posed on them.
Yeah, he T-posed on them afterwards.
He was like, you know, when you wanna tell a mystical animal who's boss, you gotta hit him with one of these, and they T-posed. Then he starts JoJo posing, and he's like, and then they're just too awestruck by his manliness, and then they're like, okay, fine.
They weren't awestruck; they were confused. It was like,
exactly.
They were like,
that's called.
They were like,
that's awestruck,
they were like,
confused. Those are synonyms to me.
They were like, what is this? What is this guy doing? So, yeah, the second time, like, it was Arjak's turn to have a go at it. And Hoagie is like actually very well behaved with Arjak, and he's able to, I mean, he squinted his eyes at him, but like when Arjak was slipping the hardest onto him, he was actually very well behaved. Doogie not so much. He squawked at him and then just tried to make it difficult for him by like moving his head around before Arjak was able to slip it on.
Yeah.
And when they got back to the domain, a whole army was surrounding the domain. And they noticed that almost everybody in Skaith Village was actually pretty uncomfortable with the presence of the army. And then good old Matthias is the first to greet everybody, coming in for a hug. Now, he's a pretty big guy. He's all muscle. And his hugs, they basically hurt. So I had everybody roll an evasion check because he was coming in for the hug. The only one who didn't make it out was Arjek.
Yep. Or I was like, oh man, to be honest, Klein's ability to dodge things is not particularly great because of not particularly good agility, and his grappling levels could be better. But yeah, he managed to win that one, just barely.
He was like, ah! He just like, as Matthias was like coming in for the hug, and then Klein had to bounce away, like do a dive into the dirt. I'm honestly surprised that Bethesda was actually able to dodge.
Yeah, me too, because he's only got one level in Fencer. And the fact that didn't she get like an automatic success or something like that? She got really high.
I don't remember. It hasn't even been a full week yet. But anyway. The same case was not said for Donna and Gibby. He gave them a hug, but he didn't bone crush them. Because like I said, his hugs hurt. Hey.
Yes, and the succubus was drooling over him. And Klein was like, you stay away from him, that's my friend, he's a married man. You stay away from him.
I didn't even know Matthias was married, to be honest.
He's too innocent for your nonsense. He's a kind soul. He's never asked for this.
So they went. So he took, after all that, he took them to the keep of the domain, where the master was like talking to another Drake, who was the leader of his own domain. He even the Drake had scrutinized the group, and when it came to Klein, he was like, it was sad to hear what happened to your father, because rumors of what happened to the Von Karst family has no doubt spread. And Klein was rather.
He was being a little edgy boy.
Now Bethesda had to remain in the keep because they were discussing about the sword crystals, while everybody else went off to go see good old Sister Galby and Arjek's wife, Azine. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but some time ago, they had retrieved a seed of a sentient plant. The seed had grown into a small flower. Small flower, but a flower nonetheless. And Klein and the flower stared at each other. And then the flower had called him Daddy.
And then Klein was like, my son.
Yeah, I decided to make that a fucking Yeah, I decided to like make that a running gag. To be
Yeah, she
honest,
finally embraced it.
I didn't even think well Klein was gonna embrace it.
What do you think he was gonna do?
I don't know.
Yeah, you see, that's the beauty of tabletop games. You never know what your players are gonna do. Unless you're me, and I happen to know your personalities pretty well.
Aw, we love you too, buddy.
I know exactly what I need to do to make you act, to make you fall for my for my many adventure hooks. Most of the time, it's just keeping you guys poor, just like real life.
Yeah, just like real life. You're poor. And then how that session ended was Klein's sister bursting through the doors and calling to his name.
Yeah, that's gonna be a that's gonna be a fun time.
Ah, yes, indeed.
I I have so it's funny. I kind of based Glion's sister off of a particular character, uh, from from Taiman and Asagi, and uh, that character is hilarious. Oh man, there is something wrong with her. I didn't take it that far with her, but I did want to make it just a little funny. Uh,
Is it the Brocon part?
yes, it's the Brocon part.
Ah, yes.
Uh, this chick, her name is Rinko. Uh, she's a few years younger than the main character Asagi. Quite a few actually. She's like I want to say she's like a senior, so she's like 18, 19.
She's a, I was about to say she's a senior citizen.
uh, so and she's really powerful, so she gets to go on missions, unlike most people in her year. Uh, so she's a combat focused type of it. So she runs around and just chops things in half. By the way, she's basically what's the word? She's practically Virgil from Devil May Cry because she uses a katana and she has the power of teleportation, sort of. It's not really teleportation, sorta, kinda is. Uh, I liked when they introduced her. She was a lot more clever with her teleportation, where she could actually like teleport pieces of her body or her senses to places. I thought that was really cool. Nowadays, they just make her do stuff like teleporting meteors out from space and smashing people over the head with it. I don't know what happened to the power scaling and time in it, but it definitely went places. Oh man, this I swear this lab is pissing me off. Every lab so far has not been a smooth experience. It feels like I'm driving into a glass-filled street with no lube. Ass first, but yeah, I went a little off topic there. It's just that this lab thing is pissing me off.
No worries.
Um, yeah, yeah. So she's got a bit of a problem. Uh, she knows she has a problem. She even talks to people about it. She's not her best friend because her best friend is her little brother's boyfriend. Sorry, girlfriend. Yeah, okay. Her little brother is her best friend's boyfriend, right? And she also may or may not have some intrusive thoughts about her little brother.
Yeah, that's like That's a decent way of putting it.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Oh man, if I could tell you the things that she says, it's fucking crazy. See, she's generally just a really like kind of serious. I won't say she's a meathead, but she can kind of approach that because she's pretty naive to the point where you can tell her something and she'll probably believe you. She's probably not going to try and verify it. So just like, yeah, I'll take you at your word for it. But yeah, so uh she's very protective of her little brother because her little brother has kind of been shafted even by her own family because she was a much better swordswoman. Like to the point where it's like, oh, she's even got this overpowered like ninja art. So like, damn, it's a no-brainer that she becomes head of the household.
Damn.
And but it was supposed to be him. They both of them know that. But the head of the family was like, nah, there goes the new hotness. And so that's real feel some type of way about that. Also because Tatsuro has a really terrible ninja power. It's wind, which is normally not a terrible ninja power, but his ninja power isn't that strong. So instead of being a combat focused type of it, he's an infiltration focused. So because he could do stuff like he could focus wind to extend his hearing and his sense of smell, and he can move his senses. He could like magnify with the power of wind somehow. But he can't do stuff like, you know, throw giant wind blades. Like he just kind of sucks.
Damn.
He can like project his voice. He's learned to be very tricky with it, but he's just not that great. You get a little bit more of how his powers work in the second Yukikaze game when he's actually the main character. You also get a little bit more on what his thoughts are like about his sister, and that's God, that family is all kinds of fucked up, let me tell you. But yeah, that's where I got that from. Cause I thought it would be funny, kind of set up a little family dynamic like that. Just nowhere near as nowhere near as crazy. Definitely not going that far. But she's very much the he ordered no pickles kind of kind of person. Excuse me, but he ordered no pickles.
Oh my god.
God damn it, I missed. Okay. If you want, like next one of your sessions, we could like co-op the characters because I don't think I gave you enough to really
Get her personality down?
like
Yeah.
all three of them.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be helpful. Cause I didn't. Cause I mean, I know you sent a story, but like.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. I haven't had time to really write stories or do any kind of role playing lately because I've just been trying to scramble to finish my work for this semester.
Yeah, that's fine, dude. Can't fault you for that. Especially since you're in nursing school.
Yeah,
And
sucks.
I have a feeling that
Every
nursing
time I
school
say
is a
that,
little.
like everybody looks at me like, "Then why are you doing it?" And I'm like, "Because apparently it's worth it." Everything in life that's hard, everything that's in life that's worth it is tough. It sucks and it's difficult, but you know, hopefully it's worth it. It's like, well, do you like taking care of people? Sure, but I also know that this job, no one's really gonna listen to you all that often. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
it's.
listen to my doctor. Shit.
I feel like being a nurse like requires a lot of patience, and that is something I don't have when it
I don't
comes to
have that
people.
either.
Yeah,
Shit.
but you try to have patience. You're willing to try to have patience. I'm not,
I
because
suppose.
I know myself.
If I
At
did
one
have
point,
patience, I wouldn't have friends.
at one at one point I'm like taking care of somebody requires like a lot of patience, and I don't, and patience, and that amount of patience is the one thing I don't have. I mean, I could
Yeah, that's
try,
true.
but like I just don't trust myself not to fail that.
Nah, no. Here's the thing: everybody fails the first time. I mean, I did. When I first started taking care of my granddad, when he started suffering from like end stage kidney failure and shit,
Oof.
I lost my shit like more times than once because like, well, yeah, I mean, one thing I think my uncle summed it up pretty well when he said like, I used to be afraid of this man, you know,
Mm.
like when we were kids, he put the fear of God into us, with good reason, we weren't going to behave otherwise, but it was rough seeing him like that. Uh, but like the more you start, I guess the one thing you have to do, and I think I figured this out faster than my uncle did, mostly because I was dealing with him every day, was you kind of have to distance yourself from it. Um, or at least you have to put a certain amount of distance. You can't really get personally involved or attached to the person you're taking care of because it's that personal attachment, you know, is why you get angry. It's because he was family is why I was getting angry. Uh, so it's once you get that, like you put that little bit of like, I gotta get this done to make sure that he turns out all right. You start to like, well, you need to take your medicine, uh, or you're going to fall apart. Like that's that's the if ands or buts. There, I know this is going to be uncomfortable, but I have to keep turning you over your side, or you're going to get pressure sores. It's like little stuff like that, which is far worse. Being uncomfortable for a little while is a lot better than being uncomfortable for months because I let you get a pressure sore because I felt bad for you. That's my job right there. Damn, she was quick with it. I was like, I don't remember which lung has the more lobes. I need to like think about it on anatomy, and then I'm like, is it the left? I'm like, no, I have to flip it around, and I'm like, it's the right side because the liver is on the left side. No, yes, no, the heart's on the left side, so the right side has the three lobes. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of the kidney. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Yeah, it's the kidney. One kidney's lower than the other because of the liver. I think they're putting Baki the fighter into Street Fighter, which I think is a little nuts.
Ah!
Not a big fan of Baki. I'm glad they're bringing Terry Bogard though. We need more Fatal Fury people coming back. Some SNK people, man. They're bringing in Shiranui Mai, Capcom's doing the Marvel vs. Capcom Return stuff again, which I think is cool because I think now me and my mom can finally play Marvel superheroes versus Street Fighter again. That was a game from our childhood, or my childhood,
yeah, I
and my
always saw
adulthood.
that in the arcade. Really, like like when I was a
And we
kid and
played
we were
that
like,
game so often.
yeah, I didn't go out too often, so I can't say I played it too often, but I would play that first chance I got, you know.
Mm. Oh, I did it. I finally learned how to read this thing.
Rusty, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Why is Peter Parker's love life such a mess?
Because Joe Quesada couldn't figure out how to write a compelling narrative without Peter getting fucked up.
Damn. All right.
Okay. Yep. I finished that. Feels good. Next. Use pipette. Negative. Blood. Right. Hemolysis applicators. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid and my friend's mom, I found out my friend's mom was a nurse. That's why my friend's mom was hardly ever at home a good chunk of the time. She'd come pick him up and then she'd have to run off back to work, which was rough. But so she was asking what me and my friend wanted to do when we were like adults, and we had no idea what the fuck we wanted to do. To be honest, like I don't know how the hell we ended up where we did. Like my friend's over in IT. He's actually making decent money. I'm, stuck here in fucking nursing school. But like a couple of things went down. So she was like, "Well, why don't you become a nurse?" Because I think at the time I said I wanted to be a doctor, and I was like, "Well, I've never seen a boy nurse before in my life." And she's like, "No, don't worry, they exist. They're just it's like finding a unicorn." I mean, that's not really true nowadays, but I bet it was back then.
Oh, has anyone ever seen Last Unicorn?
Is that a movie?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I've seen it. It's really good. I loved it as a kid.
Mm. And I'm like, well, I'm not really nice. And then she kind of laughed. She kind of had a bit of a hearty laugh. And it's like, you don't have to be nice to be a nurse. Let me
Really
tell you
though, cause like
how so true that is as I've gone through life as an adult and started going to nursing school. You do not need to be nice to be a nurse. In fact, it is actively discouraged you that you be nice. The only time you should be nice, or at least as a nurse, is if you're going into palliative care, uh, which, or I mean hospice care, which is kind of the same thing, but hospice and palliative care. Um, because hospice nurses are some of the nicest people I have ever met. Like, I have to say, uh, I don't know where all of that kindness comes from, but those people are saints when they're on the job. I don't know what they're like outside of the job. I don't know how you can keep up being that nice in New York for as long as possible. Like, that's honestly frightening to think about. Like, I'm a nice guy for the most part. I try not to be anymore because I've learned that being a nice guy just makes you get stepped on all the time, which is and not the good way. But I'm not that nice.
if there, if anywhere, if anywhere, if anyone asks if there's a nice way to be stepped on, it's not about it being nice. It's a fetish.
Sure, sure. I don't know who's asking that there's a nice way to be stepped on. This is an 18 plus stream. I'm pretty sure they all know.
Yeah, you should know. Anyway, we continue.
uh, yeah, yeah. That's some of the nicest people I ever met. When my granddad went to hospice care, I was like, geez, I uh, I didn't really get to talk to them, but when they were giving me information, uh, well, I actually managed to pick up a few things from my education.
Did I bring my phone
But
with
also,
me? I better go check.
did you left your phone behind?
I think I left my phone in my room because I needed it to charge.
Oh, why didn't you just plug it into your computer?
Because I don't. I'll
You
be right
just
back.
didn't think about it, did you? 14. Yeah, yeah, that's about it. Let me turn on my music. Like 5. Look at your blood sample results. Select all samples that represent a person likely to have been blood open. Oh, please be short. Please be short. Please be short. That's not bad. Fourth and fifth intercostal space. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Mm.
Ah, I'm back. I was getting my phone and then I got hungry.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Warmed up some pizza. Leftover pizza. Oh, did we ever tell the latest story about your campaign?
I don't think so.
Tell the story, bro.
Oh, well, let me think. Had a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so, before the game actually started, we had like a little text thing going on where, Razor's character was hanging out with his henchmen, and that's a whole like rigmarole of a story. And then
And his maid was there.
Oh yeah, his maid was there. Yeah, that's we'll get to that. I also had Usagi's character, Adelaide. Her henchman, Bennett, happened to find out that one of her friends is actually a barbarous and not a nightmare. Now, it's actually a complete mystery as to how that happened, but he found out, and oh boy, was he big bad. He was so mad he started speaking to him in German, and then was like, "All right, we gonna take this outside."
Because Drake, because Drake, for context, Drake is considered German.
Yeah, I know. I just made that up. I just thought that would be cool. So I just
Oh, okay.
Google
Never mind.
translated a shit ton of
Oh,
German.
never.
Yep.
All right, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was using Google Translate. Like,
It probably sounds really terrible, but at the same time, I'm like, well, of course it does. He's like a first time speaker, so it's not going to be great. Uh, let's see. So the two of them went outside to go beat the crap out of each other, and there was like there was sword slashing and drama and blood flying everywhere. It was great. Uh,
and
and Adelaide tried to
Ad-
put a stop to it,
yeah, Adelaide was like
but without
in
actually
full
trying to put a stop to it, because I don't think that would
was
have
like
gone well.
was like actually was like she was in full blown panic because like she for the she herself is a barbarous, and her background I will explain her background later, and like she doesn't want her friend like who's also a barbarous. She calls him Leo. He's called Leos, by the way. She doesn't want him to die. And she doesn't want Bennett to die either, but like he doesn't want him to kill Leos either. So she had to like get somebody else who knows properly and try to get help by helping him out.
Yeah. So the story behind that duel was I was testing out a mechanic I wanted to implement because there may or may not be a tournament arc in the future,
It's a
and I
fucking
wanted to make.
tournament arc. Right.
And I wanted a cool system for like one-on-one duels to happen without having to simulate like full combat because full combat's meant for like a skirmish and not really a one-on-one fight. I thought the system I came up with was kind of cool. I think it was based off of this. I, there was this magical girl role playing game where every time you would attack each other, it's an opposed roll, and whoever rolled higher would get hit. But it needs to be at a certain like number range, or else it's a clash in which no damage is done, and all they do is just like slam swords against each other. So I thought, yeah, let me try that. It really does. Although, like, if the person you're fighting is a higher level like fighter than you, you're gonna have a bad time. But I think that makes sense. So it came out pretty well. The fight was pretty even between the two of them because I think they're about the same level at this point. Uh, and they did some buffs. There was some like magic being cast between the two of them. I tried to somehow balance the fight to have magic in it. Not the fight, but like the system to have magic in it, and it sort of feels balanced. Where it's like if you cast the spell, you're not making an opposed attack roll. Like you can't attack that turn because you're casting a spell. You get to use your evasion score instead of your attack score uh, to dodge the attack. But you can't cancel it. It's like if you attack at the same time as another person attacks, you guys don't roll evasion. You just roll accuracy, and whoever's accuracy is higher cancels out the other person's attack. So that went on for quite a while, and they were pretty easily matched until about the end. where somebody got a crit, and then like next turn I was like, all right, are they gonna call the fight here because he's almost dead? Like, because Bennett got hit really hard and ended up at 1 HP, and it's like, nah, he probably wouldn't. So they went for one last attack, and Bennett scored a crit, and then got Leo's down to 1 HP, and I'm like, oh, I guess this is where they'd end the fight. uh, so I kind of I wrote the results in a way where it's like they basically almost killed each other but chose not to at the last second. That's why they became friends afterward.
Like actual friends out in the open.
Yeah, butt buddies and everything. They
Of
even
course,
share the
Adelaide.
same bathroom.
Adelaide sees that they made up. Both Adelaides ever see that they made up, and like in retaliation for making her worry, she headbutted Bennett, even though the circlet hurt her head.
Yeah, because Bennett wears a circlet. That's like his magic casting thing, and it's made out of metal, and she just headbutts it. And I'm like, well, I mean, it hurts. It hurts both of you. I'm gonna headbutt your helmet. I'm like, no, please, not like this.
And then she got a good yell at him, and then all was well.
Yeah.
And it made her.
Then they went drinking.
And as a result of that fight, it made her realize that one day that's probably going to be her. The more she keeps people in the dark that she's a werewolf.
Yeah. Maybe there's a way you can soften the blow, and it's not quite gonna be hit as hard. But yeah, that's for you to suss out using your friends. On the other side of Razor's character, he was hanging out with his henchman, and his maid kind of third wheeled her way into it, for shits and giggles. And the so everybody in the party kind of knows that Razor's maid is a little bit on the unhinged side, because he says certain things at weird moments and is a little seemingly very attached to her childhood friend, as it were, right?
And yes, her maid is Razor's character's childhood friend.
Yep, yep. So I was like, all right, all right. So she's basically an yandere, but like, imagine a yandere who has been holding back for like years, has been repressing this side of her out of sheer professionalism. But now that she's like away from pressures of her mother and the master of the house, and she's just kind of out here in the wild frontier with her object of affection, that professionalism is slowly starting to be eaten away by intrusive thoughts. uh, and Razor seems to be noticing this uh, as his maid is starting to try and do the thing that yanderes do, where they try to isolate you. I don't know. I had to think long and hard about this one. I'm like, all right. What's this gonna look like? Now the thing is, I don't want her to go full yandere. I don't want her to start killing people. Like, not that she could. She's not particularly strong. But she is a magic user, so she's got things that she can do. Right. But
Don't go that far.
Yeah, I'm not going that far, but she is a little. She's got Yand. She's like Yandere light. So his headsman tries to help him by maybe putting in some doubt into her mind. And the first thing that Razor does is kind of immediately dismiss that. Now, it's not like his henchman can make it obvious what she's doing, because then the maid will catch on. So she's got to do this subtly. But it would seem to me in our after talk that Razor seemed to actually take those words seriously as if she was making fun of him. So that was hilarious. And then immediately felt regret for doing that as the maid just like, well, okay, yes, it's fine. So that means you're giving me permission to go crazy. And he was like, nah.
Now, Razor did say that he wanted to have faith in the maid. And Rusty and I kind of looked. Well, we technically we don't really see each other because we're in Discord, but you know, we were like,
And,
we
I
both
did
have the
describe
same.
surprised flat face at him.
I just get I scrunch, I squeeze the bridge of my bridge of my nose, and it's like I don't know how often you see Yandere characters, but you can't really have faith in a Yandere.
Yeah, and if you could, well, it wouldn't be a particularly fun story now, would it?
I'm glad I'm not in that position.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't ask for a yandere.
Listen, I've already got.
you
I'm a
you asked for a
I am
different
a
kind of
lycan.
character.
I'm hiding my lycanthropy. I don't need a Yandere on my ass.
Yeah, you asked for a different kind of NPC, and you're like, okay, fine, I'll give it to you. I'm not sure if you're gonna like it, but I'll give it to you. See, the thing is, I'm like, I have an idea, but I don't know how I'm gonna work it in because it's gonna be rough. At least for me, I have to like dig down deep for this one. You know what I'm talking about, right, Usagi?
Yeah.
That sounds like a big question mark that you don't remember what you asked me for all those weeks ago.
It's been weeks, man.
I know, that's the best part, so that means you're not even gonna see it coming. You don't remember? When
No,
we were
I
watching
don't.
that anime about the werewolf, the witch, and the vampire living together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I can't believe that was like I think the first or second episode. Like that's the best part.
Oh, I remember now. I remember
Yeah,
now.
you remember now.
I remember now.
We have to continue the species. Oh man, that 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 won't be not funny.
Yeah. It's at my expense, but you know,
Yeah, it
I
is.
kind of asked for it. Mostly because I thought it would be funny.
Hey, I thought it was funny too. That's why I said yes.
Anyway, back to it. What Razor didn't realize was that his henchman was trying to help him out in dealing with the yandere. And he shut that down. Because he made the mistake of wanting to have faith.
Yeah. Then later on, when the party went, so they're setting up to go on this thing called the Maid Quest, where they're going to, for about a week, 7 whole legal days, they have to serve a noble in the noble quarter as adventurer maids slash butler.
And butler slash butler. Yes. Maid slash butler.
Yes, we're going to stick Razor's character in a maid dress.
Razor's gonna be so bad.
They had to go to the clothier, which is this hilariously flamboyant character that I came up with
he named him
a while
Jean-Jacques.
back. Yeah, his name is Jean-Jacques. Because of course he's French. Why wouldn't he be French? If he wasn't French, he'd probably be gay.
Damn, you're making me think of that gay or European song.
Yes. I don't normally play a flamboyant person. I mean, I've had some experience back in college. I hang out with quite a few flamboyant people.
Flamboyant people are fun.
Yeah, before they went crazy. I miss the days when flamboyant people weren't crazy, but that's neither here nor there.
I'll ask about that later.
I channeled my inner flamboyancy, and I managed. Apparently, I didn't do too bad, so I'm quite happy about that. But also, he apparently scared the shit out of Adelaide's henchman, Bennett. Nobody knows what happened, but Bennett knows.
Consider it a noodle incident.
It's a noodle incident. So I had them do a little like John Wick moment where they're asking for additions for their clothes to make them more unique.
Now Adelaide's never been in a clothing store before, because she's always been in the woods. So you can imagine her nervousness around Jean-Jacques.
Yeah, so Jean-Jacques was just giving her like suggestions and generally just getting a vibe from her before he's like, all right, I have a perfect dress for you. Razor's character, he's done this before, so he's kind of got some things going on. Yeah, he had to ask me a few things here and there. But he played it off pretty cool. We had the maid kind of help out Adelaide a little bit because she doesn't know what she's doing, and the maid feels some type of way about the maid uniform itself. It's a symbol of something.
Wishy, that statue was of you, right? What statue?
What happened?
How does it feel to be worshipped as a god by an ancient underwater civilization destroyed thousands of years before your birth? A little odd. What are you talking about?
I too like to be worshipped as a god from many years ago that doesn't exist anymore. It gives me the much vaunted title of forgotten god or dead god, and it just gives me a little bit of.
You know what? If you're still gonna stick around, I got quite something to share. I got something to share.
Oh, what you got?
I'll tell you later. But anyway, so Adelaide is a nervous wreck because, well, not a nervous wreck, but she's just like nervous. She's got performance anxiety because, like, and here is the maid trying to tell her to like straighten up, and it was just like, and her she's like, are maids this bossy?
Yep. great. It was great. I think my favorite moment was like she pulled out 2 pairs of footwear and she was like, heels or boots? And then Adelaide was like, heels. And then she looked her dead in the eye and says, have you ever worn heels before? And she was like, no. Then pick the boots.
It's like, I was like, okay.
I think my favorite part is like once you realize like the maid's job is to stand on her feet almost all day while she's doing a shit ton of cleaning. Like, yeah, you're gonna be glad you're not wearing heels.
She will silently thank Louis. She will silently thank the maid.
Oh yeah, and then that's when the real stuff happened. So at the clothier shop, the group of henchmen decided to like spy on them because they were trying to sneak out of the adventurers guild at first. Like they didn't even say hi to nobody. They were just like, let's go, and then they just dipped, and then everyone was like, man, they didn't even talk to us, and so they went to go find out what was going on, and then they just kind of uh they kind of snuck in there while the clothier was making alterations, and they started talking, and Razor's character, he was like, he kind of vowed revenge against his henchmen for trying to help him, and that right there, I'm like, oh, oof, let me tell you, that ain't gonna go too well, fam.
You ungrateful motherfucker. Your henchman was trying to help you, man.
I mean, damn, this just reminds me of that one time when Adelaide tossed Bennett into a trap after saving her life a whole grand total of twice. At that time, it was twice. It has increased up to about 5 times.
Yeah, she feels bad.
He has notches on his belt for how many times he's saved each of his friends.
Anyway. Well, speaking of which, I read the letter that Razor wrote to his father. That Razor's character wrote to his father.
Yeah,
That was hilarious.
I know, right? I can't wait to write the reaction. But it is going to take about 2 weeks for it to get here. So, I mean, I have to. So 2 weeks have to pass before the response gets here. So, I have some time.
Alright. Oh my gosh. And once the session was over, I told both Razor and Rusty that if we ever got to meet Razor's character's father, I'm gonna straight up ask Adelaide's gonna straight up ask him, so since you're a noble, if you could take a second wife, would you?
I mean, he'd straight up. I mean, he's very good at his job. He'd straight up say, "I'm happily married. Thank you very much."
Yeah,
I barely have enough time for one wife. I don't have to deal with more of them.
I'm probably gonna make sure that the wife is there too.
Yeah, that's funny.
Cause like we were doing the whole scenario. It's like you asked me this in front of my wife.
I think
And then
because the
the
letter
wife,
he
like,
was
giving
going
him-
to send to his dad was just like, I need you to pretend like just pretend like we're siblings. And then it's like, what you ask of me is too much. Already I sit here in the house trapped with your mother. If I were to write this letter and she were to see it, there would be no mercy.
That's, I mean, that's kind of why I really want to ask Isaiah's dad, Isaiah is Razor's character, Isaiah's dad this, just to pull it, just purely just to put him on the spot. I want to see what happens when I ask this in front of both him and ask him this in front of his wife.
That would be hilarious.
See
I
if
mean,
there will
there was
be
that.
any form of mercy.
I remember that one time. So I don't know if I don't think anybody caught it when I wrote the story or when we were role playing. When I introduced Meryl's character to Razor's character, I mean his henchman, Razor's henchman to his character. Her name is Meryl.
Yeah.
A dwarf thief. She she straight up asked Isaiah's dad, "Hey man, are you single?" And he's like, "No, I'm happily married." And she's like, "God damn it!" He did appear out of nowhere and like a Billy Badass just took out like two villains because he was a former adventurer. He's pretty up there. He's just due to political reasons he can't do anything. So buddy, your heart's not supposed to sound like that. Hmm. I did not hear any of that, but okay. I oh man. Oh, learning about listening to heart sounds is so frustrating. I remember there was like this meme on YouTube Shorts about a student doctor listening to heart sounds and saying 120, and then the senior doctor saying this patient has preeclampsia, and then the young doctor just fucking face palming. He's like, God damn it! I feel that. I felt that.
Speaking of doctors, I hadn't uh, I hadn't had LA talk to Hector about his warlock, his old warlock acquaintance.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wait, yeah. You haven't talked to about him yet. I'm surprised you remembered that.
I'll need to remember to do so next time I have the time off.
Yeah. You might end up joining good old Bennett on his demon investigation because, like, I legitimately thought Razor's character was going to follow up on that, but then he just kind of
Forgot about it.
didn't. Yeah. And I'm like, hmm. Well, I shouldn't. I could just let that plot line fall by the wayside, but it's kind of gonna happen in the background anyway, so I figured I'd just have other characters investigate it while you guys do other things. So, uh, I figured that would work out. And besides, it makes the world feel lived in because like you guys are doing stuff, the other characters are also doing stuff. They're not just sitting around waiting for you to go on an adventure.
Yeah.
Um, he also expressed interest in looking for like Magitech
Blacksmith's
ruins.
hammer.
Yeah,
Blacksmith's hammer.
like yeah. Before the blacksmith hammer thing, although that was a quest that I've been planning I've been thinking about planning for a while, and now it's like, well, since you guys are dead set on doing it, I have to actually like draw out the maps and stuff. That's gonna be hilarious. That's I'm just letting you know that that's gonna be a big dungeon.
We faced one
That's
dungeon, we can face another.
yeah. You guys went through the dungeon of fear, and now you guys are gonna go through another one. There was another big quest that I had planned, but I think I'll hold off on that for a little while. I don't think you guys saw it, so like that's why I didn't like draw any attention to it. I might make the maiden mercenary company kind of kind of like hint at it, so that way like the adventure hook will still be there. I don't want to auto resolve that one because that's kind of a big one. But we'll see. Wherever you guys go, I'll just wherever you guys go, I'll make content for it. It's not like I'm not trying to like railroad you. I'm just trying to steer you toward content.
Do for content.
Because you guys like Razor's Razor's character wants to save up money to buy a horse and a cart, which is actually
So
really expensive.
so we can continue his quest. His quest
Yeah,
to
so we can continue his quest, and thank God they are as expensive as they are because it gives you guys time to level up. Because the journey going back to civilization is going to be pretty rough. Uh, like that's going to be a project. That's probably something I'm going to do over the summer break. Is kind of like make a hex map for Raxia, specifically like the continent you guys are on, and then
right.
like come up with a quest for you guys to do in the cities that you're going to be running into along the way. I'm not sure if I want to do that just yet, but I kind of want to because I think it would be really interesting uh, to have that kind of like that journey feel, like like you see in anime where they go on this long journey, and whenever they get across the city, well, they have to make more money to pay for the journey itself. Buying food and uh, food, water, healing potions, everything they're going to need to survive the journey past that. So yeah, some quests would be interesting, especially that one where you gave me a suggestion about making a quest in the theater,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, that's super interesting. But I can't do that in Scarlet's Rest because Scarlet Rest doesn't have a theater.
There's no
Uh,
theater in Scarlet Rest.
yeah, it's a frontier town. They don't have cool luxuries like that. But the nearby city of the Principality of Dorellisburg definitely has a theater, and that'll be interesting. Like the further towards civilization you go, the less friendly to barbarous the it becomes. So like Razzledon is like Razzledon is basically barbarous territory. The Dorellisburg is like they're slowly progressing toward eventually being friendly uh, to those that don't want to kill them. But further than that, into the Zaltz region, you know, unless you're going to one of the outlier towns where there is this one town in the Zaltz region where humans and barbarous sort of live together, but it's uh, very tenuous over there. Like they fucking hate each other.
It's kind of like a Beastar situation where carnivores and herbivores need to live together, but they kind of
Yeah,
hate each
yeah.
other.
Yeah, it is like that city is particularly in a B-star situation. There's another city just like it, like it's on Razzledon, but it's like far, it's further in. Over there, humans are treated like slaves.
Damn.
So that's, it's got a lot. There's like a huge, like, diverse towns of stuff to going on there. Uh, it's actually why I really like the setting. Uh, and of course, like Magitech ruins, right? You can have a Magitech ruins, and it'll be like running into a shopping mall, like it's a dungeon, and I love it. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in a shopping mall when it's like nearly empty and like some of the lights are out. I guess not. I guess that's a bit of a slightly specific.
Yeah, that'd be a very rare occurrence. Cause like a shopping mall is like hardly ever empty.
Yeah.
Well, depending on the shopping mall.
The fifth in the fifth left intercostal space at the mid-clavicular line. All right, that's the cardiovascular lab complete. I think after that I'm done, except for the pH, because there's no lab for reproductive system. Thank God. Oh boy. Oh, this is stressful. So if I do these two, right, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a lot. Oh boy.
Oh, speaking of which, we forgot to mention that in the barbarous setting, some domains have like human settlements that the master of the domain allows to live under the condition that they are worked. They are they are made to work.
Yeah.
Dietrich doesn't have that.
Makes sense.
Henry?
If he's far enough away from human settlements, there aren't going to be many humans nearby because they probably would have been eaten or driven away by barbarous at that point.
Yeah. And also because he I think it's a given that he's not that particularly fond of humans, and
Yeah.
he would he considers like trying to keep the humans safe for the sake of his domain, like kind of a hassle. Especially since he's already got like a barbarous village outside of his keep. You there, buddy?
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to fill out this. The hell am I looking at?
Your future. I'm just joking.
Oh, match each pressure type with its Location on the blood pressure graph. Okay. There we go. Oh, right. Yeah. Yep, that makes sense. I think, Dietrich is a really cool, like, character because he's kind of got this, mysterious side to him where it's like, you don't know what he's really planning, but he's kind of funny.
Especially considering that he's also Bethesda's teacher. After she kind of wore him down.
Yeah.
Because at first, he told her no. But she wouldn't take that for an answer and just, like, started popping up everywhere. Any chance she got, asking the same question until eventually, oh my god, fine. He's basically the tired uncle.
This sphygmomanometer.
Have you also noticed that he also has a bit of a smug side to him?
Yep. I think it was a pretty. You kind of put that on display when he was talking to the Drakes.
I might end up posting a story about that conversation later.
Okay, cool.
Oh my gosh, this is another funny situation that happened in Rusty's campaign. So Adelaide has a letter to her family ready, and she pulls Leos aside and asks him to, like, send it to the nearby Barris camp so that they can, like, he can ask them to, like, send it to her family. Because, she comes from a family of lycanthropes. And certain NPCs were watching them, and it's just like, they automatically assumed that Leos was what's the most appropriate thing, Rusty?
Man of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. This is the best part. Like, she didn't do herself any favors when she approached the man and was like, "Don't worry, I'm not here to take your innocence." And I'm like, I don't know who starts the conversation like that.
To be fair, I didn't. To be fair, he assumed she was trying to take his innocence the first time.
That's because he was dragging him somewhere without saying anything. So, his brain went to the only thing he knew.
So anyway, she was giving him her letter, which was in an envelope, and they all saw that, and that didn't really do her any favors. They automatically assumed it was Muddy. And then once Leos agreed to it, she could hear the conversation between everybody else. Okay, then she looks at him like, okay, I think they're thinking something inappropriate. We should go back.
Yep.
I'm surprised that Valeria didn't straight up ask Leos if he was a man of the night.
Oh. Valeria was in that conversation. I think he was distracted by something, and I don't remember what. Yeah. Yeah, there was that moment. There was that time where Adelaide left out the door to go, like, I don't know, panic think to herself. And like there was a whole conversation that happened while she was gone. So there was that. So there was a little bit. It was like, oh yeah, so since you're not there to hear it, I don't have to simulate the conversation. Uh, I am kind of glad Valerio's kind of got this thing in your mind where he just says the most outrageous shit with no filter.
As for the thing with Razor's characters made, uh, when we had that conversation, you know, I don't think I said this out loud, but I feel like I would have said, you dug your grave, now you lie in it.
Yep. Oh no, the consequences of my actions.
You could have accepted Meryl's help. Instead, you tried to have faith in your maid, who was a yandere.
Yep. And I'm just like, here's the thing though, it makes things more interesting, don't you think?
It does, but like, if he complains about it, that's what I'm gonna tell him. You dug your grave, now you lie in it. You're the one that chose not to accept the help. Now, I would never ask for it. I don't think I'll ever ask for a yandere. But hypothetically, if I did ask for one, because I trust Trusty, I trust that he won't go too far.
I don't know why you would trust me. I'm a terrible person to trust. But yes, go ahead.
Well, when it comes to yanderes, you know how they're like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a fan of yanderes or like that because I'm not manly badass hero. I've seen enough. I've watched enough manly badass hero stuff to know like the yandere's tropes and what makes a good yandere because he plays a lot of RPG horror games with yanderes in it.
They do it for content. Anyway, I would think to myself, do I accept the help, or do I, or do I make it worse for content?
Well, here's the thing. Much like Razor, were you able were you going? What's the word I'm looking for? Would you be able to tell that they were trying to help you the same way Meryl was? Because honestly, sometimes I feel like I was being a little too subtle with it.
I feel like I would catch on a little quicker than Razor.
Hmm. Yeah, oh, don't think Meryl was trying to help Adam for the goodness of her heart. She was getting sentiment out of it. She just likes messing with the Yandere girl because it's funny. And, she may or may not be slightly jealous, but, that's neither here nor there.
That's neither here nor there.
Oh, yeah. The whole reason why I brought that, the Mr. Popo's niece? I think it was his niece. Mr. Popo's niece, into the picture was because he's going to be the one heading the search for Magitech ruins.
Ooh.
So like, you know, like that's her whole her whole thing right there. She's out there looking for more tech.
For whole shebang.
Yep. Hmm. Although since I realized that Bennett now has the ability to read Magitech, like that's he's kind of started to muscle in on Isaiah's like roll turf a little bit.
Do you ever think that Razor kind of forgets the role of his character?
Uh, yes. I
Yeah.
mean, he kind of proved that when he was talking about like like you do know like you're like with the wizard. You're the wizard. You're the smart person of the party.
Yeah. He was like, "We don't have a wizard. We do have a wizard. It's you. You're the
Yeah,
wizard. You just happen to have a gun."
yeah. It's like, I mean, he can't read like magic stuff, so he can't read Arcana because he doesn't have a magic. He doesn't have like a traditional magic class like spiritual like conjurer or wizard. I mean sorcerer. He just has a sage, so he has knowledge, and he's an artificer, so he can read Magitech. That's his thing. And I try to make that relevant when I can. Yeah. Because Magitech was everywhere. It was a whole part of the city. It was actually the most region civilization before this one. So you're going to see a lot more of it. That is true. Since we lack and the thing is, he has like similar spells. Like he has like the mana search spell, which lets him find magic stuff. Which is, to be honest, a little more exact than the sense magic spell that the sorcerers get. Because it's like sense magic is like there is a magic thing in my vicinity. Well, mana search is oh, this thing's kind of glowing weird. Because I'll be honest, I thought Sense Magic was just like the Detect Magic spell from Dungeons & Dragons, but nah, it's a little more vague than that, which I find hilarious. Oh, that reminds me. Hmm. Right. Do you still have Lethal Strike? You do. Yeah, Usagi, you never used Lethal Strike.
I haven't.
You've used it like twice, in the whole time we played. So, like, do you want to swap it out for something you find to be a little more useful?
Well, I try to get like good timing on my part. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm not good on the timing. Like I wanted to like save it for like a serious situation like what that boss fight. Even though I kept missing.
Yeah. I mean, I understand because it does give you a -2 to your evasion when you use it. So, you know, it has a bit of a risk factor to it. But like, I noticed like as soon as you got cleave, like that was it. Like that was your thing. You were all in on it. I'm like, yeah, you're finally using your abilities. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. I'll try to use my abilities more often. I wanted to use it in like the werewolf boss fight, but then I realized I had my character realize like, oh wait, I don't need to hide. I'm in barbarous territory. I can let loose.
Yeah, but you could have used it while you were using your claws.
I could have. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't think that applied. My bad.
There's nothing on the thing that says you have to use a weapon with it. Well, technically your claws are a weapon, but yeah, it's the only one that has a what's the word? Prerequisite or like a is the cleave attack, which requires a two-handed attack. You need to use a two-handed attack. So you can't use your claws.
I don't think using lethal strike with my claws would have saved me from getting my ass kicked, but you know.
If you critted more often, and that's what lethal strike does, is it lowers your crit threat. It increases your critical threat by making it so that you can, if you're using your sword, you'll crit on a 9 instead of a 10. Which is pretty good. I think that's what Meryl has. I think Meryl crits on an 8. No, she crits on a 9. Let me just check that. Swords. Saber. Yeah. Yeah, so she crits on a 9, naturally, because he's a fencer. And I think she can take that down further. The maximum you can go is 8. You can't go past 8. So if you could crit out at 8, that's pretty nuts.
That would be pretty nuts.
I do plan on Bennett getting a alchemist skill that lets him. He actually has a spell called Weak Point, which increases the critical threshold on any enemy as long as it hits. So like you'll be able to crit on a 9 like Meryl does when Bennett casts the spell on people. And then I'll be able to, once I get that alchemy skill, I'll be able to increase that even further and make it so that just about everybody can crit on an 8 on a creature. Making it so that with the power of debuffs, we can just dumpster a motherfucker.
Oh, here's a funny thought I had.
What's up?
You know how rabbit folk, or like, what do they call them? They just call them
Tabbits?
tabbits. Like, I thought of a tabbit like going around with a freaking rocket launcher.
Like it's Power
Yeah.
World?
Yeah. Just like imagine a
here's the
tabbit
thing.
just like it's looking up at you and it's just like,
That's just Mr. Popo.
yeah, but Mr. Popo is like an angry old man. I'm talking about a younger tabbit.
Okay. Mr. Popo, when he was a younger man, when he was out there in the streets, you know, people be rolling up on him, he'd pull out the rocket launcher.
But like this tabbit, they would think that their baby would like, and then everybody thinks they're baby until they pull out the rocket launcher.
I feel kind of bad that Mr. Popo slowly became like an angry old man, but it kind of just became a funny meme that kind of took over his personality.
Especially with how he often he holds Bennett at gunpoint.
Yeah.
What's 2 plus 2? The Bennett's like, what? Popo pulls out his pistol. It's like, what's 2 plus 2? And then how would he answer?
I don't know. What is 2 plus 2?
And then he's going, it's 4! It's 4!
And then he puts his gun away and like, you get to live this day, boy.
Oh, that's so funny to me. It's just an adorable bunny rabbit just like holding someone at gunpoint. Every time they do math.
No, they're making me do concept maps. Okay. All right.
Oh, you know the funny part about Popo's niece is his niece isn't even a Tabbit.
Yep. So, there are no half races in Sword World.
Except for
Uh,
Dampier.
yeah, but Dampier aren't really a half race. It's more like they're half dead.
They're half dead inside.
Uh, yeah. So the in much like the Elder Scrolls, I don't know if you know about that lore, but
I
the
don't. I don't even remember the last time I played Elder Scrolls. If I ever played it.
so in the Elder Scrolls, and I'm pretty sure they probably either retconned this or completely forgot about it, but in the Elder Scrolls, uh, your race is determined by your mother. In Sword World, your race has a 50-50 shot of being whatever the fuck's in your bloodline. So, if you've got a pretty diverse bloodline, the baby could come out like any one of those races. You're just like rolling the dice. So, like, you know, it'd be weird. But if somebody was like half elf, right, and was a dwarf, and then the dwarf made a baby with another dwarf, there's a higher chance that that baby's going to come out a dwarf. However, there is a small chance that baby is going to come out an elf.
Yes, the birthing process is strange.
And then
We're
there
not
is a
sure how it
smaller
works.
chance of whatever that baby is coming out of, it could also be a nightmare. And that's a whole thing.
Oh, hey, it's a squid. How funny. You
Oh
know,
boy.
I'm surprised we haven't had any NPCs that have been gassed up.
What you mean?
Like, you know how there's like super famous and there's gonna be like super famous people and then like occasionally when they show up they get like gassed up or something.
Oh, you mean like oh my god, they're like heroes. Well,
Yeah.
if you guys notice that the fighter instructor hasn't showed up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be hilarious. Yeah, there are a few famous people. I didn't want to put too much attention on them because I kind of wanted you guys to be the star of the shows.
Yeah.
So there was like
I
this
get
whole
you.
like, if there are famous people around, why aren't they doing the jobs that you guys are doing? And it's like, well, I had to think about that. I'm like, in my brain, I was like, well, do you want to play Overall or not? But also, like, if I was gonna make it so that you guys kind of start off from zero to and go to hero, uh,
Zero to hero.
the the town needs to be in a situation where it's like you guys kind of start coming out on top, and you've also been like resolving things with Barbarous relatively peacefully because you haven't actually run into the bad guy Barbarous too often yet.
Damn it! Now you got the Zero to Hero song in my head.
Yeah, I got that because of all the dark and darker stuff I've been watching. A lot of people just go into the dungeon with like no clothes on and they come out like wearing heroic stuff. Locate the brachial artery. I could never find this fucking thing.
No, it's the inside of this fucking thing. What the hell are they talking about? They look nothing. This statue looks nothing like me.
$120/70.
my ladder at?
That's
I didn't bring my
120,
goddamn ladder.
128
Me.
over
What is wrong with you?
78.
Oh, it must be over here. No, it is fucking not. Okay.
And 40 over 80.
So, Rusty, you mentioned that we might not have a session next week, right?
Yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. Like, cause, I mean, Thursday should be the last day of my finals. So I should be fine. But let me check the date on that. Yeah, I might be going out with friends that day, so I might
Celebrate
not
the
be
end
able
of
to make it back home.
celebrate the end of finals.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm just confirming. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream there, and I'm not done with this goddamn pyramid. Well, I got this room left, so but I think it'll be quick. But anyway, if you tomorrow I'm going to going on a little vacation with Mamasagi, which is why I was talking to Rusty here. And next week, depending on which day I'll be available, I will start the week with some Stardew Valley. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. If you liked this video, be sure to press that like button. If you want to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. I don't know why my eyes always look like they're closed. My eyes are always closed. Why are my eyes closed? Open my eyes. Me, open my eyes. Open my eyes. Me. Come on, come on. Fine, you can. They'll droop. It's good enough. Remember to be happy. Remember to be healthy, and remember to be heavenly. Good night, kisses. Bye bye.